Hey everyone, what is going on? And first, before I start commentating over the video, I just want to ask if anybody has a last resort and is going to the Richmond tournament on November 9th, let me know. I'd love to set up a trade so I could trade for it before the tournament. Jokes and I both need one, so if anyone is out there, please tweet me on Twitter about it, and we could definitely set up a trade. I have regionals, I have unknowns, I have shinies, so we could definitely set up a trade and see what you need. But for this video, we're kind of discussing can you run Umbreon without last resort? And the short answer to that is, of course you can. I mean, you could run anything you want as long as it's eligible, right? You could run Rattata. The real question is, should you run it? And it's kind of hard to say. Now, both of us don't have last resort, as I already mentioned, so we're both going with foul play. But if one of us had the last resort and we were going Umbreon versus Umbreon, whoever had the last resort would obviously have the advantage and be able to win. Now, Umbreon will do just fine without last resort against things that don't resist it, like maybe one of these water Pokemon, B-Barrel, maybe Nidoqueen, right? Something that doesn't resist dark moves, like foul play, it will be doing just fine against. But if it does resist it, like opposing Umbreon, Alolan Raticate, or like Charm users, obviously you don't want to go up against a Charm user with Umbreon, but if you have the last resort, at least you could do some damage to it. So, I honestly, in my opinion, I'm not going to use this Pokemon if I don't get a last resort one in the tournament. Personally, I'm not. Now, some of you may have a different opinion. It's definitely still viable. I still think that it's viable. I just think you really, really, really want that last resort one, because the Umbreon mirror match is going to be really common in this Ferocious Cup, in my opinion, so I think that if you're going up against it with one without last resort, you're gonna have a difficult time. So let me know your thoughts on that, if you agree or if you disagree. But definitely try to get one if you don't have one. I've been trying. I posted it on Discord. I posted it on J Farm's Discord. I cannot get a last resort Umbreon to save my life. But yeah, hopefully one of you guys can help me out. I'm not going to take advantage of you and just take it. I'm going to give you something good for it. But if you got an extra one and want to spare, I'll definitely be more than grateful. But anyway, let's see what happens. So we have the Nidoqueen. This game is almost over. He brings in his Umbreon. The Umbreon will be going for foul play, of course, because he does not have that last resort. But Nidoqueen can take it and we'll just finish him off. So we do go ahead and win game one. So it was a very good game. We played quite a few battles. I think this is another 20+ minute video. So bear with me. We'll get through it together. But for the next one, I definitely catch him on the lead. He has Vaporeon. I have Minun. Now, even though we have a positive lead, we're still taking quite a good damage from that Water Gun, because Water Gun just does a lot of damage. So I switch into my B-Barrel after he switches into his Alolan Ninetales, and I'm going to go ahead and fire off the Surf, which will be met with a shield. So I was really happy to take that shield. I decided to throw up a shield of my own just because I wanted to see if I could get to a Surf. I thought I was going to be able to, and we are able to, but it was very close. It was very close. So either knocking him out, taking a shield. So we do go ahead and take that shield. So I traded one shield and a Pokemon for 2 shields. So I'm okay with that. I bring in my Minun and click on the Discharge just because I didn't want to take a lot of damage from Charm. So I just wanted to finish him off. He does bring in his Umbreon. I'm going to pull the switch right away to my Umbreon because I'm up a shield and I know he does not have last resort, so I don't have to worry about that mirror match. But if I did, if I wasn't sure he had last resort, or if I knew that he did, I wouldn't have switched like that. But anyway, he switches into Vaporeon and I go for another foul play, just eating away at that. Looking pretty good for us because I know I could take Vaporeon's moves and we are up a shield. So Aqua Tail not doing much. So in a situation like this, Umbreon is still going to be a fantastic Pokemon even without last resort against Vaporeon, because you could see how bulky it is, not taking much at all. But I'm just saying, it's it's very, as much as I want to run it, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I don't like those mirror matches, and I know all my opponents are probably going to have one, or at least I'm going to assume they have one. They might not, you know, some people might not, but if I see an Umbreon, I'm going to play as if it has Last Resort, because I'm thinking that it probably does, but you could see how tanky it is. It's such a fantastic Pokemon, but I'm still going to try to get one. He hits us with Foul Play. That is okay because we are able to get to a Thunderbolt. And this does not knock out the Umbreon at all, but we're going to continue to try and knock him out. We are not able to. He is able to knock us out with Foul Play, and then we bring in Umbreon, click on the Foul Play. Could have fainted him down with Snarl, but that is okay. We get the Foul Play, and that will knock out the opposing Umbreon. But I would have won a lot faster had I had Last Resort, or if he had Last Resort, he would have actually ended up beating me. But I guess it depends. You know, obviously both people have Last Resort. You have to see what happens. But anyway, the next game, he actually switches teams. He adds a Linoon, or I switches a Pokemon. He adds a Linoon to his team. So this is actually a relatively different team that he's going with. So I switched to my Alolan Ninetales, and he has a Alolan Ninetales with him. I'm going to go ahead and shield this because I knew I would be able to feint him down with Charm before we get fainted down. At least I was confident I'd be able to. So there we go. We have the Psyshock and the Ice Beam. And I do go ahead and click on the Psyshock because I knew he had Vaporeon, so I figured he might bring in Vaporeon to try and catch the Ice Beam. So I went for the Psyshock instead, and that's what he does. He still takes it because that doesn't do a lot of damage. But anyway, I bring in my Minun, and I let this attack go through, predicting an Aqua Tail as it is. So it is an Aqua Tail. He switches into Raichu. I will switch into Umbreon and immediately click the Foul Play. So again, Umbreon doing really well against Pokemon that are not weak to it, like this Raichu, because Raichu charges up fast, and we'll see how much this Wild Charge does. It does a pretty good amount to an Umbreon, but if it was like any other Pokemon, it would be doing a lot more that are not super tanky, and you could see Foul Play doing a good amount of damage as well. So we knew this is going to be a Brick Break, and I decided to shield. I actually think I would have survived that. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, I go for the Brick Break. I go for the Foul Play, excuse me, and he will go ahead and shield that and switch into Vaporeon. So I pull the switch into Minun and immediately click on my Discharge after I charge up a little bit more, and that will knock out the Vaporeon. And then he brings in his Raichu, which I'm assuming a Brick Break is coming at this point as it is, and that does not do much to us. So I knew he'd have to use energy if he wanted to knock me out. So I felt pretty good about this match because I knew I had the Umbreon in the back, but we actually survived and we're still able to get off this Discharge right now, which will knock out the Raichu. So we actually go ahead and win that one. So another really good game. Really good game. But yeah, let me know if you plan on running Umbreon without Last Resort, or if you have a Last Resort one as well. But either way, the next match, my Minun versus his Vaporeon. He switches into Raichu. I'm actually really slow on the switch. I bring in Nidoqueen, and this is a favorable matchup for me, obviously, but I play this matchup horribly. I get super greedy. I just continue to charge. I try to charge Raichu all the way down. In the process, my health is going down as well, so I just play this matchup so bad. I mean, I should have probably used the Earth Power right there before he got to Brick Break, which is what he's going for right now. So I'm just continuing to try and farm him down, charging up tons of energy, or at least I'm attempting to. So I do go ahead and shield because I realized how low I'm going to get, and then he makes a good play. He is going to switch into Vaporeon and knock me out and waste like 2 Earth Powers worth of charge moves. So I played that horribly. I could have played that a lot better. I should have went for the Earth Power. I got way too greedy. So that's okay. So we have the advantage in this situation because we have a Minun. So I'm going to let this attack go through, and it will be a Last Resort. So doing good damage to us, but we do feint him down with Spark. And now we'll wait to see what comes in. I do have a discharge as well as a thunderbolt now ready to go, so I do click on that thunderbolt before Charm can knock me out because I didn't want the same thing to happen. That happened with Nidoqueen. So he does use a shield, so at least we catch a shield and then bring in Alolan Ninetales. So I knew I could feint him down before he feinted me down because I am up in health. So I do go ahead and use the shield on the Psyshock, obviously, I had no choice. And then I am able to feint him down, and I do have a Psyshock. Now I'm not going to use my energy. He has a Raichu, doesn't have enough for a Brick Break. I lag here. So he's actually attacking me, I just can't see anything. So you'll see it in one moment. It might be difficult to tell, but you should be able to see it. When he comes in, my health is like down to like 1, and he has a charge move ready to go. He didn't have that energy, so obviously I lagged, and that caused me to lose. I would have won otherwise. He said if that was a tournament match, he would have given it to me because he knows that I lagged, and I would have won that one. I mean, I deserve to lose it after playing Nidoqueen so bad, but either way, it's a practice game, so it's not a big deal. But for the next match, he leads with Umbreon, and I lead with my B-Barrel. So I know foul play is coming, as it should. So there comes the foul play. So I'm just going to charge up energy and then switch out into my Charm user. He does switch into a following Alolan Ninetales. So now it's a mirror match. I do go ahead and go for my Psyshock because I pretty much knew Shield had to come up at that point, unless if he wanted his Ninetales to feint first. So he's going to go ahead and go for his move. I do decide to shield this. I don't know if that was a good play because we both end up knocking each other out. So now both of us are down a shield. Maybe I should not have done that. Maybe I should have... yeah, I don't know, maybe I should just let my Ninetales go down and then knocked it out with whatever I brought in, but that's okay. Anyway, I go for the Hyper Fang, he does decide to shield, I bring in my Umbreon, he brings in his. Again, mirror match that you're going to see in the Ferocious Cup, more than likely. But yeah, I'm not worried at this point since I know he doesn't have Last Resort. He knows I don't have it as well, but again, don't have to worry about it because I'm at more health, so I'll eventually feint him down, and I figured, yeah, he's also out of his shields, out of both shields, and I have one, so looking pretty good for me, but we'll see what happens. So again, a little bit slow in these mirror matches, as I said, because none of us have Last Resort, so I am just charging up energy, and I should have enough for 2 foul plays at this point in time, so we're going to go ahead and go for 1, and I actually tried switching that and immediately clicking on the Surf with B-Barrel to knock out the Umbreon, but it didn't go through, so I do pull this switch. I actually don't have enough for Surf, that's right, I use my energy to try and go for Hyper Fang against the Raichu. That's right, my bad. But anyway, I do charge up against the Raichu and I go for Surf, and we'll see how much Surf does. It does a decent amount. You know, he does go for his energy, didn't want to get knocked out by Water Gun, so can't blame him for that, and he will knock us out. So I go for Umbreon. I was going to try and feint it down, but I'm like, why don't I just go for Foul Play, because his Foul Plays are not going to do much to me, and he's almost knocked out anyway, so plus I get another Foul Play off, so I might as well just go for Foul Play. I don't necessarily need to save up a bunch of energy, so Foul Play doesn't knock him out, but we are able to finish him with a Snarl, so really good game. Really good game, and we are going to go ahead and move into another one, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and lead with that Alolan Ninetales, and he leads with Umbreon, so definitely a favorable matchup for us. He will pull the switch into the Ninetales, as I do switch into my Nidoqueen. And I'm just going to try and farm down this Ninetales, can definitely do it. Now I know this Psyshock will not be enough to knock me out, but I do decide to throw up the shield just because I didn't want to take that damage. You know, plus I don't know if the remaining charms after the fact would have taken me out. Maybe they would have, maybe they wouldn't have. But regardless, I decide to. Gonna go ahead and go for the Earthquake because I know a lot of people do not like to shield Umbreons on the first attack, unless if it's something that's going to be super effective to it, and Earth Power and Earthquake are not, so might as well go for the stronger attack, right? So I get off my Earth Power right now against his Umbreon. Wasn't sure if he would shield. He does decide to shield. Unfortunately, we didn't get the defense drop. He brings in Raichu and actually knocks me out because that's how low I am. So that's totally fine, no biggie. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Minun. So I believe I try and charge up to the Thunderbolt. He's going to go ahead and go for the Wild Charge. Because we resist it, we're able to tank it. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I do go ahead and charge up for that Thunderbolt, trying to get an excellent as we do. And it doesn't really do that much, but it's okay. He's going to go ahead and fire off a charge move, and I will go ahead and take it. It is going to be a Brick Break. And then I pull the switch into my Alolan Ninetales after the charge move so I can feint him down. And now he brings in his Umbreon, and I don't have to worry about this foul play. I could easily take it. If I knew he had Last Resort, well, I wasn't sure, I would have shielded, but I knew I could take that foul play anyway. So we do go ahead and knock him out. And that was a really good game, but we definitely dominated that game because we had the lead, we had everything we needed. For the next match, he leads with Linoon, and I am leading with my Alolan Ninetales. So, yeah, resisting those Shadow Claws. So that's pretty good for us. He's going to go ahead and get off a charge move, and I will shield it. Could have taken that Grass Knot, but again, because we're squishy, it would have done a good amount of damage. He switches into Nidoqueen, I switch into B-Barrel. And this is definitely good for us. I believe I let this go through and it's an Earthquake. Yeah, it is an Earthquake, and that absolutely knocks us... Well, no, it didn't knock us out, but then we got a couple more Water Guns off, so I guess I should have shielded that. So nice play on his end. Yeah. So, not looking too hot for us at this point, just because he is up a shield, plus he totally eliminated my B-Barrel. I am going to go ahead and block the Earth Power and get off an Earth Power of my own. And I believe the shield comes up. Yes, it does. So, of course, he's going to have to shield that. And he's going to get to another Earth Power before, and this is going to absolutely destroy me. You know, I thought I actually would survive an Earth Power at that range, but we do not survive it. At this point, I was just trying to feint him down and have energy left, but yeah, it's all but lost at this point. I can't win that one. I mean, maybe if I shielded and saved my B-Barrel from that Earthquake, I don't really know. I don't really know. But either way, great game, great game. So for this match, I lead with Umbreon, and he leads with his Linoon. So I know Umbreon can take this Grass Knot. I know it could take a Thunder. I know it could take a Dig. So I'm not concerned with it. We do resist those Shadow Claws. So going to be hit with Grass Knot. No big deal. I'm going to go ahead and fire off a foul play, charging up extra energy. I do believe I have enough for 2 at this point. Let's see. So we hit him with 1. Yeah, we hit him with 2. He actually pulls a switch to catch the second one, which is fine, but at least it's into something that doesn't resist foul play, so I'm okay with it. Bringing in Minun to counter the Vaporeon. He's going to go ahead and get off a charge move, but whatever it is, Minun can take it. Really liking Minun, by the way. I'm not saying I necessarily like it more than Thundershock Raichu. I just don't have one, but I am really enjoying it. It's definitely tankier, obviously, so really solid Pokemon. We are going to be hit with a charge move from this Linoon. I decided to take it. It is Grass Knot, and that will knock us out, so kind of wasting some energy, but I decided not to throw a shield at it. So I do bring in Donphan, and we managed to feint him before he's able to get off a Grass Knot, which is always nice. He gets off a charge move. You know Donphan can take it, even if it's Brick Break, which it is. And I do go ahead and bluff with the Heavy Slam, hoping he would think it was like an Earthquake. So he does go ahead and throw up his shield. I decided not to bluff with the second one, though. So he is going to get off a charge move. I do block it. Could have taken that Brick Break as well, but I decided to block it anyway. And we do get to an Earthquake, and he actually doesn't shield this, so this obviously knocks out the Raichu. But I was getting ready to switch because I was expecting him to block it, but I guess maybe he decided it was a lost cause. Maybe he thought he was going to lose anyway. Or maybe he just predicted Heavy Slam. I'm not really too sure. So good game. So the next match, he definitely catches me. He has that Alolan Ninetales, and I do have the Umbreon, so you guys know I have to switch into my Alolan Ninetales. He switches into his Vaporeon, so I'll definitely take that. I mean, it's not a Nidoqueen, right? So Vaporeon, I will definitely go up against with my Ninetales. So I do go ahead and fire off a Side Shock because I thought he would be able to get to his following charge move. He does decide to shield that, which is totally fine by me. And as I said, he does get to an Aqua Tail. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this just so I have the switch advantage. And I am down 1 shield though. But as I said, I do have that switch advantage. He does bring in his Ninetales. Fortunately for us, I cannot get to that Psyshock, but that is okay. I bring in Minun, and he is going to go ahead and pull the switch. I hit the Thunderbolt, I believe. I went for Thunderbolt. And Discharge, excuse me, I would go for Discharge, and then I switch into Umbreon. Perfectly safe switch for me because I am up health, plus I know, as you guys know, he does not have Last Resort, so I am not concerned with it. All this talk about Last Resort is a plead for anybody's help. Please, please. But I actually started walking in Eevee because I want to prepare just in case they bring it back for December. But that still won't help for the Ferocious Cub, obviously. But it's still something that we want. But anyway, I fire off back-to-back foul plays. So adding up damage. He is up 1 shield, but again, he doesn't really want to block foul plays. I understand that. So he's going to go ahead and get off a foul play, and I am just charging up extra energy. He fires off another foul play. Totally cool, no problem. Easily you could take that. I could actually take another one. That's how tanky Umbreon is. Umbreon is just such a tank. It's so tanky. So charging up, trying to get to the next foul play. We actually do manage to get to it before he is able to get to his. So that's good for us. Doesn't knock him out. He does pull the switch into Alola Ninetales. I switch immediately because I didn't want my Umbreon to get knocked out. He hits us with a Psyshock, and I am going to go ahead and hit him with a Discharge. But again, he is still up a shield, so that Discharge comes out, and he uses a shield, and he knocks out Minun. So he's actually going to take the win. So that Alola Ninetales definitely pulled through for him. So nice job. Very good games. So we're going to jump into another one. I lead with Minun, and he leads with Nidoqueen. So definitely not a good matchup for us. We got to get out of there ASAP, switching into Nidoqueen. Now, if you notice, he stopped attacking. That wasn't lag, because he was preparing to switch, but he realized he didn't bring a counter to Nidoqueen. In fact, he brought Pokemon that were weak to Nidoqueen, so he couldn't switch. So that allowed me to catch up in terms of energy built, because he was about to switch, just wasn't able to do so or didn't want to do so. So I'm actually getting my earth powers off before he gets off his, and that's going to matter a lot. So we get off another earth power. He is going to go ahead and shield that, and I'm going to go ahead and return the favor and shield. So it was basically a race to the next earth power. If one of us lagged even for 1 turn, the other would get it. And I actually get mine off first, CMP tie. So we're able to get it. Thankfully, he stopped attacking and we're able to get that. But then he brings in Alola Ninetales, and I see why he didn't switch out the Nidoqueen, right? Because he's not going to switch into a Ninetales, and he's not going to switch into a Raichu, which he has in the back. So definitely favorable for us. He does hit us with a Brick Break, I guess trying to knock out Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen actually survives this, and we're able to get to an Earth Power. And this is definitely going to be the end of Raichu as well as this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.